Summer is here, the school year is over, so I've got a little extra time to finish my Pokemon card collection project. So if you're interested, I have finished cataloging everything. Go check out the link up in the corner or down below, and you can check out everything that is in my collection. This is the first batch of cards that I have ever attempted to get graded. So this is the first time going through all of this process, but I want to include you all in this so that you can see what to do, what I'm doing, and what kind of grades we're going to get once we get them back. We have 4 cards that we are sending off in this first round. We've got my base set Unlimited Charizard that has the black dot error, really cool card. I've got 2 Venasaur. We've got the base set 2 Venasaur, and then we've got the Japanese Venasaur from before the even English sets came out to the US, so that's pretty cool to have. And then I've got my fossil holographic Moltres, first edition set there, really awesome looking card. So we're going to take this to the dining room table because that's the best place I've got for all this. Let's go take a look. Here is my Pokemon collection binder. Let's take a look inside. We're going to go all the way to the back here. If you are interested in looking at any of the specific cards, you can go and check it out on my Google Docs, my Google Sheet rather, and you can see the whole collection in there. We're going to go back to where I have all of these holos here. Here we go. So let's pull out these 4 cards. We're going to pull out the Charizard, the Venusaur, the second Venusaur, and our Moltres here. I've also got the soft sleeve card holders along with the harder top loaders that we're going to put all 4 of these cards into. Let's go ahead and open these up. Oh, and they come in these smaller little packs too. Good, because I can save some of these. I don't need to open all 50 of them at once. Put these to the side. And now we've got our hard top loaders. Get them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Put these to the side. So we've got our top loaders ready to go, and I have never done this before with these tops and these plastic loaders. So that's kind of, we'll get to there. Let's take a look at the Charizard. Try to handle this as delicately as I can. Here it is. We've got no symbol on the right side. It's not a first edition, so this is an unlimited set. We do have our 99 wizards at the bottom. This is a black dot error card. You can see right at the bottom here. Let me get focused. You can see that black dot on the T of the Nintendo. So that's kind of neat. A little bit of an error card there. And then on the back, we can see there is some use to this card. So we've got the whiting on the tops. But our centering looks moderately okay. Not much difference on the tops and the bottom, so that's good to see. And then on the front, we probably do have a good bit of scratches along those holographic foil bits. So, but overall, it's a decent card. I feel pretty good for having it for like, what, 15, 20 years? 1999 is 2021. Yeah, 21 years, 22 years. That's awesome. I am hoping to get around $600 for this. We'll see what actually happens during the sale. And I am hoping for a grading of a 6. We're going to hope for a 6. I would love it if we got anything higher. I'd be happy with a 5. I'm just really interested to see how this thing gets graded. Sending it off to CGC. It should be pretty cool. So let's get him in its sleeve. And let's get it in the top loader. I've never used one of these. This is pretty cool. I'm just learning as we go. All right, and there he is, nice and protected, almost ready for shipping. There he goes. Next up, we've got our Venasaur. This thing is pretty old as well. I love the holo on there, nice and shiny and glowing in the night. Centering is pretty good, okay, on this side. Got a base set 2, not a first edition. This is the unlimited set. I don't know if there are any first editions on the base set 2s, but there you go. And then on the back, got a little bit of whiting, not nearly as bad as the Charizard because, come on, you got to play with the Charizard. It's a popular card here. So we've got a good amount, a good border here, Pretty happy. I kept my cards in pretty good shape here. These rounded corners, those corners are pretty good across all of my cards because whenever we played as kids, we would keep them in those plastic sleeves. So I'm really familiar with these things here. But I think they really helped a lot. I'm glad that I put those in there. And we all did. Whenever we would do any of those games, going to the Toys R Us and playing in the leagues, we'd have our cards in the sleeves. So very helpful. Awesome. There he goes. Venasaur is ready. I'm going to skip over the Moltres here because I really want to save him for last. That's one of my favorite cards. But we're going to go to the Japanese Venasaur. Now these cards came out before the Venasaurs and all of the base sets in the US. So I don't remember how exactly I got this card. I had a friend who was really into Pokemon cards. He actually entered the Illustrator competition, gosh, years and years and years ago, and ended up with one of those rare Pikachu Illustrator cards. So I have seen one of those cards. If you're interested, those things are really cool. But I believe he gave me this card as just like a token of friendship or maybe in a trade. I think at one point, honestly, I had a first edition Charizard that I drew from a pack. And then he gave me a few of his Japanese cards in exchange for it. Now, again, back then when you're like, what, 8? You don't know all of the small, minuscule, important details of all the cards. So I was just happy to get a bunch of interesting different cards, and I already had a Charizard. So kicking my butt on it now, but I got this guy, and he's pretty neat. He's got a little bit of scuffing on the back here. Not nearly as much as the other cards because we didn't play with them and you couldn't read them, but they were cool to look at. So let's get him in his protectors. There he is. Venasaur is packed and ready for shipping. Oh, and you know what? I totally forgot to put this one in his hard pack, so let's get that done. There we go. Venasaur number 2 ready for shipping. And finally, my Moltres. I love this card. Between the Moltres and the Zapdos, I really love those two. I like the art of the Zapdos more, but I know that this one is more valuable because it is that first edition Moltres. And this one's in pretty good shape. You can see a little bit of the edging shining in the light there. And you go on to the back. You got some scuffing on the top. So again, I am not expecting anything close to an 8 on any of these cards. I'm happy to get 5s and 6s. So what we're doing with all of these cards, I am sending them off. The whole reason we're doing all this is because my family is taking a trip to Germany next summer. My littlest brother is deployed in the Army. He's there for his Ranger training. So we need to raise some money to do our big family trip, and he was actually married during the whole pandemic COVID thing, so he and his wife did not get to have a nice big ceremony or anything. Very small, very low-key. She's actually finishing her degree in nursing, so she's finishing up soon, and she is doing a short trip to Germany to see him. They're actually getting to stay with each other for the first time in a long while. So we're hoping that these 4 cards here, we've got our Moltres, our Charizard, our Venasaur, and our Japanese Venasaur. We're hoping that these guys are definitely going to help us fund our trip. I'm going to turn the light on and we're going to get another good look at these cards. So here is the Charizard. And that black dot at the bottom. Here's our base 2, the 2 Venasaur. Here's our Japanese Venasaur. And our first edition fossil Moltres. Now I believe all of these cards, these 4 cards, are my most valuable in the set, so we're going to send them off first. And because they are more valuable, they're going to be a little more expensive to have graded. So we're just going to send these off by themselves as a set of 4, and we'll see how they do. I'm hoping for, again, 6s or 7s for any of these. I'm happy with any of those grades, and we'll see how they do. All right, time to pack them up.